A shocking internal memo leaked on June 11, 2025 from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has sent shockwaves through the nation. The content boldly called for all staff members to engage in fasting and prayer as a desperate measure to tackle food insecurity issues. This announcement comes on the heels of a staggering budget allocation of over 3.73 trillion naira for agriculture and food security in 2025, a jaw-dropping 931% increase from last year's mere 362 billion naira allocation. This is one of the many times funded responsibilities have been abandoned in the hands of prayer. In 2022, the American government issued a terror alert regarding insecurity in Nigeria. The then defense minister criticized this action, stating that he would prefer if the United States prayed for Nigeria instead of issuing an alert to its citizens. In November 2024, the National Security Advisor and the Nigerian First Lady led a national 7-day prayer at the National Mosque in Abuja to seek God's intervention in economical hardship, while their Christian counterparts from various denominations gathered at the National Economical Center to pray over the nation's adversity. This should not come as a surprise. In a place where the devil commits every crime, exposing incompetence is a miracle from God. Accountability is unknown or seen as a punishment. All these trigger a shame reaction where youths are shamed in financial fear over unknown spiritual enemies. Students are scolded for not praying enough over an unreasonable lecturer instead of reporting the issue to the authorities. A place where prayers have replaced work and road accidents due to bad road are the will of God once a church member survives. All these erode every sense of structure in Nigeria, yet no one is unfazed, and every day we dig deeper. In today's video, we will explore how this has profoundly impacted our upbringing, how these systems are designed to perpetuate it, and how we can break free from its hold. With these few points of mine, I hope to be able to convince you. Now, before we start, it's important to acknowledge that this is not aimed at bashing people's belief, but to analyze ways people use religion as a tool for abuse, a powerful tool that no matter the spectrum it lands in, could be used as a deadly weapon. On the spectrum of its advantages, where love is advised, it is misplaced for a lot of reasons. Number one on the list is to evade accountability. Taking accountability is slowly becoming a lost cause in our society. It has become normalized for people to come forward with the testimonies of how they sexually abused a minor, all dressed as God's deliverance.
This little girl now is my little niece. So the mother died when she was 6 months. 6 months. So then now, after the burial and all the rest of them, my people said I should carry her because we don't have any issue yet. That through her we may have our own. And then I was happy. We now carried her. Then both my mother and his mother prayed for us that we should try our best and take care of her. That through her we will have our own children. Being someone that don't have any baby now, I was happy. I was trying to do everything to make her happy. So along the line, I was seeing so many strange things. I kept quiet. So the first day, I saw my husband touching this little baby. I said, sure. I was afraid. I said, what is that? Is she trying to use her for money ritual or what? That's why we don't have any child since 2014. So this man is because of me, not for me not having children. What is happening? I kept quiet, monitoring him. He did it the first time, second time, then the third time. I carried this little baby to one woman. I now told her, look at what I'm seeing, that this thing that I'm seeing, it will destroy this marriage because I cannot bear it. She now said what? I told her that, could you believe that my own husband is touching this little baby? Meanwhile, he knows the way this baby came to us. That he knows the way this baby came to us. So
I hope two of you are aware we are online. Huh?
Yes.
No problem, Mama. Are you aware? I'm aware.
So he knows the way this baby came to us. Why is he behaving like this? The woman told me that he will not believe that I should not say anything. Even if they put knife on his neck, that he will deny. He will even cry and say that it's not what he did. I told the woman that I'm going to leave the marriage. For me to allow to destroy the destiny of this baby, I rather quit this marriage. I can, despite I don't have any child, I will leave the marriage. The woman said, any which way, but he will never accept, even if they want to kill him. I told the woman that I will call him and I will tell him one-on-one as my husband. If he stops doing it, that I'm going to forgive him and seal it for him. We'll live together. But if he's continue, that I'm going to carry the baby away. So after 2 days, when he now came back from work, because he used to come back 12:1. When he now came back, I closed the door and called him that this thing that I'm about to tell you, if you accept and stop doing it, I'll forget about it. But if you deny and continue to do it, I will leave this marriage. I rather quit this marriage than destroying the destiny of this baby. That day he now got angry, scattered everything, cried, raised alarm, was scattering so many things in the house. He now opened the door and called my younger brother. That look at what your sister is saying, She said, I'm seeing this little baby. How will she say so? He cried that day. I said, okay, you want to disgrace yourself. It's your business. I called you something as a wife. For you to at least accept and tell me to forgive. I will forgive. Nobody will hear it. And you are trying to expose yourself. That one is your business. So my brother now was, what kind of story is this? I don't know. This one that you're telling me, I don't know. It's only you and your wife that knows. I don't know what to say concerning it. After that night, all of us now slept. Reaching early morning, he walks down to this little baby father, because he's my elder brother. He walked down and go there and report to him. Then my elder brother now called me. I told him, okay, he's trying to disgrace himself. That one is his business. My brother said he will come. Then when he will come, we will hear. He later now came. So when he came, he said he don't want to hear anything. He don't want to hear any arguments. All he's trying to do, peace. He preached and prayed with us that he don't want to hear it anywhere again. Let it end. I told him, if he did not touch this baby again, that I will forget about it. But if I'm still seeing what he's doing, I will not keep quiet though, because the destiny of this baby is in our hands. If anything should happen to her, it will be on my head. One, I don't have my own children. Then for me to witness and the destiny of this little child, that I cannot do it. Either I quit the marriage. My brother now said, no, he will not. I don't want to hear anything. After praying, he now go. Then I still free myself to living with him. After 3, 4, 5 days, he started the same thing.
Those in lower authority are encouraged to pray more to avoid demons hindering their promotions at work. Rather than addressing the ego dominating Nigerian workforce, students spend 80% of their time in school enduring lectures from instructors who refuse to pass them unless they offer a bribe or end up in compromising situations. A 2018 World Bank survey revealed that 70% of female graduates from Nigeria tertiary institution had been sexually harassed in school by their fellow students or lecturers. A recent study conducted in 2024 found that various forms of bribery are common among Nigeria tertiary institutions. The lack of accountability allows excessive power to remain unchecked, while victim blaming is used to keep everyone in line. A study conducted from July 2019 to August 2020 involved 251 respondents, including 153 males and 98 females, to examine their opinions on sexual violence and victim blaming. The results showed that 150 respondents, 120 males and 30 females blamed the victim. Additionally, 21 respondents, consisting of 7 males and 14 females, were indifferent. In contrast, only 80 respondents, comprising 26 males and 54 females, blamed the perpetrators. I want you to go down your childhood memory lane to the stories adults told you to keep you away from sex. The normal plot in these made-up stories is how a minor, usually about the age of 12 to 15, is lured into an old man's bed over silly items like a can of milk or donut, labeling them as greedy, or in Nigerian slang, a longer throat, dismissing the power dynamics the older man will have over the minor. Abuse of power in the workplace, especially by those in higher positions, is a common issue. A survey conducted by Jobberman found that in 2020, 35% of Nigerian employees reported experiencing workplace harassment or bullying. Additionally, another survey by Career Junction revealed that 60% of Nigerian workers considered quitting their job due to stress related to their work environment. This is also why unpaid workers are called lazy, rape victims are called promiscuous, and citizens who speak out about these issues are being ungrateful. Fervent prayers are spent on things a good economy would solve, rather than establishing a relationship with any supernatural being one serves. The government joins in on this bandwagon. The recent JAM saga is a perfect example of this. The high failure rate raised some eyebrows. To address this, the Minister of Education claimed that the mass failure was proof that anti-malpractice measures are working. After a wild Twitter outrage and a sad suicide report, the system was checked and a technical glitch was found. Instead of taking accountability, or at least letting good public relations personnel handle the delivery to the public, this was posted. It was framed to look like a miracle, using the phrase, "Man proposes, God disposes," knowing it would appeal to many Nigerians' religious mindset. This also demonstrates how well politicians and government officials have studied the minds of citizens, as evidenced by their decision to allocate millions to support religious projects. For instance, the recent allocation of 90 billion naira for the pilgrimage journey to Mecca comes at a time when the nation is facing economic uncertainty, with the purpose of the intending pilgrims to pray for peace. Another example of this is the donation of 1 billion to the Cherubim and Sephirim Church by a Nigerian state governor. This always works because Nigerians don't know how to separate religion from politics. Another advantage that is misused is morality, which has turned into a toxic purity culture. In a classist society, purity is another way to climb the social ladder, a major tool for the poor masses who use this as a coping mechanism and a weapon to hold over the wealthy masses. The tricky aspect of this mentality is that those who hold it often have little to no direct contact with the rich. As a result, they use this perspective as a way to instill values in their children, showcasing their disdain for wealth. They discourage their children from questioning authority and exploring paths to financial independence in order to maintain their own sense of self-righteousness. Their children's financial education revolves around various ways of praying to attain wealth. In 5 seconds, recall your first prayer point as a child of the middle class. Your answer is probably praying for electricity to be restored, a problem that could be solved if Nigeria functions well as a nation. Purity culture also erodes empathy. This can be seen in the pattern of several Nigerian church testimonies. Testimonies are a great way to show appreciation for the supernatural being oneself, but sometimes Nigerians forget that this is the purpose of testimonies. Many people present testimonies like success stories. It is common to hear people degrade accident victims for not being vigilant or spiritual enough, instead of the focus to be on the bad road or traffic condition that caused the accident. The recent petrol tanker explosions don't bother anyone because everyone is busy trying to pin spiritual meanings to this event instead of spreading safety measures to avoid these occurrences. This prevailing mindset that equates prayer with righteousness keeps the failed system in Nigeria operational, as few dare to speak out against it. Those who do question the status quo are often asked how many times they have entrusted Nigeria to prayer. Unfortunately, this reliance on prayer often comes with long waiting periods, which can lead to a mentality of endurance that borders on suffering. This attitude has seeped into the consciousness of many. Basic necessities such as good housing, a consistent supply of water and electricity, and reliable transportation are now considered luxuries, and individuals are frequently shamed for demanding the bare minimum from the government. The outrage experienced by the NYSC copper after she criticized the government for incompetence is a good example of this. Some people even feel like it is a crime to criticize the government. To some, nothing will change, so why try? Good deed is an advantage that is now weaponized in religion. While every religion encourages us to be respectful, kind, and understanding, issues arise when people act kindly for ulterior motive or due to authority, rather than from their own values and principles. When this authority or reason is removed, society can be filled with the worst types of individual. This leads to a sense of entitlement, where people expect rewards for simply being decent. A clear example of this is the general apathy towards environmental care or disobedience to traffic rules. Why is this the case? Civil duties are rarely emphasized in religious teachings. Since these responsibilities are not framed as a way to gain favor from a higher power, many individuals do not prioritize them. When good deeds are based on established rules, compassion and empathy can suffer, especially in areas with high illiteracy rates. In such places, people often rely on religious leaders to interpret what they should do, instead of engaging directly with their holy text. This dependency can allow corrupt leaders to exploit the situation, leading their followers into cult-like indoctrinations. On the opposite side of the spectrum, its disadvantages, like lack of tolerance, are used to push religious hatred. The majority of security risks arise in Nigeria from religious violence. When Nigerians hear religious hatred, the first thing that comes in mind is the fight between Christians and Muslims in the north, but it goes deeper than that. It's alarming to witness the comfort some have with the killings in the north under the pretense that all northerners are to blame. These attacks are rising daily, with some wiping out entire communities. Islamophobia and anti-Christian sentiment prevent people from looking past their hatred to speak against issues that endanger life until it reaches their door. Religious hatred also fosters financially abusive education. When someone accuses you of being a ritualist, it essentially means in the Nigerian context, you are wealthy and we cannot control you. Nollywood has contributed to this narrative, often disguised as a lesson in contentment. The government benefits from promoting this propaganda because many Nigerians perceive wealth and even the fulfillment of basic human needs as sinful. In middle class and lower class families, parents often blame their well-off neighbors or even those who are just above the middle class for engaging in crimes or rituals to achieve financial success. These ongoing discussions instill a dangerous mentality that suggests only racial killings or other spiritual activities can lead to success. This mindset also undermines the aspirations of Nigerian youths. These beliefs can lead to two possible outcomes. Either the individual dedicates all their time to religious activities, making them more susceptible to propaganda, or they engage in ritual killings or fraudulent activities to achieve wealth. Clear evidence of this can be seen in Nigeria, which was ranked second as the most prayerful country in a 2023 study by the Pew Research Center. At the same time, it was ranked fifth in global cybercrime according to an index published by the journal PLOS ONE in 2024. Another problem is the demonization of African culture, where people try to erase traditions and cultures through violence and propaganda in order to dominate their own religion. Unfortunately, this demonization does not only stop at the culture, it also attempts to demonize those that reject this indoctrination through religious hateful labels, making it easier for religious terrorist groups to justify mass murder. Recognizing the problems caused by religious abuse, how can we find a middle ground? Deconstructing beliefs is one of the ways to counteract abusive tendencies within religions. This involves re-examining and questioning various practices within the faith. Additionally, engaging in one-on-one study of the religion's history and its holy texts can help avoid misinterpretation and enable individuals to identify abusive tendencies, whether from individuals or groups. Understanding and being exposed to different cultures can help reduce religious terrorism. By learning about other cultures, individuals can appreciate the beauty in diversity and uncover similar practices expressed in different ways. This awareness can also combat dehumanization. Reconstructing the upbringing of Nigerian children requires a fundamental shift in how we understand and support their development. At the core of this shift is the need to create an environment where fear is not a dominant factor. Many traditional approaches to parenting and education instill a sense of fear, often rooted in the belief that failure equates to disappointment, moral failing, or supernatural attacks from enemies. Creating space for failure also involves encouraging open dialogue about mistakes and setbacks. This perspective will foster a sense of responsibility and accountability of one's action. Raising awareness of societal issues is crucial for fostering more informed and engaged citizens, and this is my aim for this channel. I did like to take a moment to remind everyone how important it is to subscribe to my channel if you find my content helpful. By actively addressing this pattern, we can work towards dismantling the prolonged influence and outdated ideologies that hinder progress. It can empower individuals to critically assess the motives of those seeking office, examine their qualifications rather than their religious affiliations, ultimately striving for a society where governance is informed by rationality and the common good rather than by religious doctrine. By fostering this awareness, we can create an environment where diverse perspectives are respected, resulting in more competent and accountable leadership that truly represents the interests of all citizens. Please, by subscribing, you don't only help spread this valuable information to those who might need it the most, but it also serves as a powerful encouragement for me to continue creating videos like this. Together, we can build a supportive and knowledgeable community. Thank you for your continued support.